What's good, guys? Welcome back to Ron's Rides. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video where I'm here at Maserati Alfa Romeo of St. Pete with the new 2024 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio facelift. Yes, the new facelifted model is finally here on the channel. It took me this long, guys. Now, you guys know this model because if you didn't watch that video where I drove this to the Festival of Speed of 2024 out here in St. Pete, well, that was my first time laying eyes on this model, and now I have it here for you guys to do a proper walk around of the new Giulia Quadrifoglio. Now, we've seen a 2024 Giulia Quadrifoglio on the channel, but it was a Giulia Anniversario, which is the 1 of 100 special editions. And we have some special things on this specific model here today: paint, seats, all that good stuff. So with that said, let's check this out and let's see what this is all about. Obviously, big shout outs to Alfa Romeo of St. Pete, not only for letting me drive this in the previous video where we took it on the highway and ripped it, but also being able to do a review of this car, walk around, so I can get this out to you guys. So big shout out to Maserati Alfa Romeo of St. Pete. Now, with a wheelbase of 111 inches even, you're looking at a total curb weight of 3,862 pounds. And when it comes to your overall wheelbase, you're looking at a length of 182.6 inches, a width of 73.8 inches, and a height of 56.1 inches. And of course, we know what's good under the hood. Twin turbocharged, intercooled, 24 valve, direct injection with this aluminum block. This V6 pumps out 505 horsepower, 443 pound-feet of torque, and paired with the 8-speed ZF transmission, carbon fiber drive shaft, rear-wheel drive, you're looking at a 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds with a top speed of 191 miles per hour out of this Ferrari-derived engine. This is it, guys. When it comes to power plants, this is one of the holy grails in this realm. Now, we do know how this sounds, but always, as always, I have to put it in race mode, gives you guys a couple of blips. And also keep in mind, we have a dry carbon fiber hood right here. Just so beautiful to match this whole engine cover and everything here. But all right, race mode, revs, let's do it. So now we have the 2024 model year here, and I know that it's different for branding. Over in Europe, it's considered a 2023. Over here in the States, it's 2024. So not to get you guys confused, but this is the facelifted version. We can say that globally, facelifted. All right, so what's different, what's new, what do we have here today? Well, if you couldn't tell, we have this beautiful Rosso Etna paint, which looks so good with this premium metallic flake. The Florida sun is gonna Florida sun, and hopefully that shows up as that candy apple red you see on the screen, because wow, that paint glimmers, and it's perfect for this car because Alfa does red so well and they're really known for red. So yes, it shines and glimmers. Then you have, obviously, what's new? The tri-LEDs. We know this from the previous Giulias that we've had on the channel. This is new for the 2024 model year, or for the facelift. So the tri-LEDs with the black housing, we'll see those illuminated just a little bit later, but they look really good and fit this model so very well. Now, what we're used to is the Chilobo here, done in a dark Bidon flavor with the Scudetto all there set up. And you also have the carbon fiber front splitter, active carbon fiber front splitter, which retracts at around 70 miles per hour for extra downforce. That is obviously a staple for this car. Now, coming along to the side, you will see the side slits. You will see the air intakes and everything as far as the grille for the surrounds at the bottom here. And then you put it all together for the front fascia, and it looks mean and aggressive per usual. And obviously with the quad, you will see those nostrils, and those are gonna be actually functional for heat extraction. And again, it gives it that more aggressive look. Now, we know what's under the hood. We'll talk about it in just a moment as well. But yeah, the facelift, really what you'll see for the quad are those headlights, and they make a big difference when you talk about the overall styling of this thing, because really, you don't wanna mess this up. This already looks beautiful. This is a beautiful face. The headlights, they just top it off for me. Now, when you show off the side profile, very classic Alfa Romeo, but we have a specific option that we don't see too often. You guys will probably know where I'm going with this. The technical wheels. 19-inch technical wheels, these are actually an option, and you would normally have your 5-hole wheels, but we got a little something different. The more aggressive wheels from Alfa Romeo. So again, 19-inch technical wheels, monochrome center cap, red calipers, white script, which is also an option. Obviously, we got the Brembo brakes, drilled rotors, and the Pirelli tires as well. P0s because, you know, Pirelli. Now, with that said, you also have the Quadrifoglio cloverleaf right there on the fender, looking very mighty and fine. And we know that this is reserved for only high-class, high-performance Alfa models. So there it is. And then the mirror caps are done in gloss black to match and have some symmetry with the window moldings, and the B-pillar there also done in gloss black. Now, coming down here, you will also see the carbon fiber side skirt. All right, so that's always been there to give that extra aggression, extra looks, serving extra class when it comes to the quad. Take a step back because you'll notice that our roof, well, it's red, right? I mean, you would think, oh, maybe a sunroof or something like that. Well, this is a painted over carbon fiber roof. You can option out to have it exposed carbon and not painted. That costs you, and I believe for the previous model years, it was an extra $2,000. So if you didn't want to add $2,000 to this car, you leave it just like this as they did today. Then you have the shark fin antenna done in gloss black, and then we put it all together. Take a step back and look at this masterpiece from its side profile. Guys, that is a looker in this Rosso Etna paint. Godly. Now looking at the rear of this, it is just as sexy in the back, but also aggressive. Alfa did a good job at designing this car, which is why it's been such a timeless look for so many years. It's hard to fix what's broken. So for the 2024 model year, really the only change you're gonna notice are the tail lamps, which are in the clear flavor, which we've seen before. Alfa had them, then they took them away, then they brought them back. And basically that's what you're gonna see in the rear. That's an update for 2024. Everything else stays the same, and nobody's really mad at that because look at this. This has been like this as far as looks since 2017. So we keep the same carbon fiber trunk spoiler there. It looks beautiful, right? We keep the same Alfa Romeo insignia right there, the Giulia badging, the same quad exhaust tips done in chrome, the same very aggressive shark fin rear diffuser. All right, the slats on the side, allowing it to breathe and giving it style. And then again, the tail lamps, which we'll see illuminated shortly. I mean, why would you change this? That's not even a question, right? I mean, it's hypothetical. You wouldn't because it looks so good. Now the cargo space remains at 13 cubic feet of space, 40-20-40 split when it comes to the rear seats. Remember that the first model Quadrifoglios did not have a 40-20-40 split, and they did not have seats that folded down. They were actually stuck in place. So you had to keep it just like this. This one's a little bit more practical when it comes to the current model years. You will see each lever to fold down the seats. All right, and then it's basically pretty standard here. Obviously, yeah, there's not much down here. There's no spare tire or anything. You do have a tire inflate kit, tow hook, everything like that, but they keep it pretty simple. Battery tucked away on the side there, and yeah, guys, I mean, not much to it. Now, while I say fuel economy is subjective, you know, it's not necessarily important when you're buying cars like this. Well, I still want to show it off and tell you what we have for our EPA rating. So we're looking at 20, 17, 25. 20 combined city and highways, 17 city, 25 highway. And as you guys can see, we need premium fuel in this thing. Guys, make sure you give this the right kind of juice in order to get loose. Now, before we talk about the updated interior, because yes, there's an updated interior, especially for the Quadrifoglio that you don't get on the other Giulia models for 2024, we obviously have to go over the key fob that has stayed the same since it came back into the States back in 2017 with the Giulia. So, unlock, lock, trunk release, remote start, panic button, physical key. If you slide this black piece down by grabbing the grips on each side, you have a physical key and your battery back there. It's a CMOS battery. You can change the key fob battery there. Now, let's talk about the inside of this thing. Now, you're gonna see a familiar design language when it comes to the QV, right? The quad always has the best of the best when it comes to Alfa Romeo. But today we have one thing that is a specific option that you guys already noticed, you probably already can see, and then what's new for 2024. So the facelift got a couple of things. And I need to show you guys one thing before it even actually we go into that whole explanation. The Sparko racing seats. This is not new, but this has always been one of the most expensive interior options you can get. And it is here on this specific car, as you guys can see. Carbon fiber bucket racing seats, Sparko racing seats that you guys know, with the carbon all throughout the sides and the bottom and on the back, which we'll see once we get in the back seat. The green and white stitching and the Alcantara going all through. We'll break down the price of this obviously in the sticker breakdown, but that is one of the best options you can get in the interior, and we have it here today. Just to keep you guys informed too, you have adjustments here to go up and down, but if you want to actually move this forward, this right here, all right, there's no power forward, just power for up and down. Obviously there's no ventilation or anything on this because it's a racing seat. So that's for your most hardcore Giulia fans. Now before you also get in, you see the aluminum pedals, aluminum side sill. Then the door paneling lets you know a lot about our spec as well, with the black leather or Nero leather, the stitching, and we have something called 3D carbon fiber. You guys may know that very well, but it is new for 2024 in the Giulia Quads. This comes standard 3D carbon fiber trim, guys. That's so cool. The wicker basket carbon fiber, you can actually feel is back. And then the Harman Kardon sound system, as you guys can see with the speaker there. And then the stitching and soft touches throughout the door paneling. And then we step inside. It's easy to sit down in these carbon bucket seats, and they actually fit very well around you. How comfortable they'll be on long drives, not exactly sure, but that's not why you get them. You don't get them for, long and comfortable drives. You get them because they are racing seats, all right? So you want the best of the best when it comes to Alfa. Now, you guys will notice that the Quadrifoglio obviously has the Quadrifoglio steering wheel, which is very specific to the spec. So you have the Alcantara on the sides of the leather wrap steering wheel with the flat bottom, but also the Quadrifoglio gets the aluminum stock piece in the center with the carbon fiber insert and the cloverleaf badge. That's the most important thing, right? That's how you know it's a quad, cloverleaf. Then we have the red start stop button, which really lets you know that we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Now, the rest of what you see is standard on Giulia's. You have your buttons on the side, each side of the steering wheel, driver assistance here, menu and hands-free controls here. You have your column mounted paddle shifters, big aluminum patties, all right, and then your stocks on each side there for windshield wiper lighting and everything like that. Your parking sensors and your start stop is on this side with your lighting controls all through here, turbine vents going throughout as well. Then we talk about the LCD screen, which is new for 2024, but we have a new configuration when it comes to the Quadrifoglio because it has race mode, and race mode gives you a different screen because you don't see that unless it's in a Quadrifoglio. So let's put our foot on the brake, start her up. All right, so we got her to life. You can see the digital speedo is here. We have a couple different options when it comes to the digital speedo, and we will change that by pressing buttons here to change what's information we have, see involved there. You'll also see that we have a couple different options by pressing this button here. It'll give you three different layouts between classic, relaxed, and evolved. So all that's configurable. We've seen that in the other Giulia videos, so I won't dig too deep into that. Also, what we've seen in other Giulia videos is the infotainment, which is Alfa's in-house infotainment that they've had for since 2020 is when they did this software update. It's not always the best, but it looks good, and visually, moving forward, it looks very, intuitive and everything. It's just we got to get it to be a little bit more responsive when it comes to, using it, in practicality. But we know this system very well, so again, I'll go over that quickly. Dual zone for the climate controls, all right? And then underneath, USB 2.0, our lighter there, little stowage, cup holders, 2-track system for the ZF transmission, so I can do manual mode here if I don't want to do it using the patties or the paddle shifters. And then you have your electric parking brake here, key fob holder there, radio controls there, quick radio controls. You have your quick menu controls for the touchscreen here, which is easier to use. I always like to use these because they're a little bit faster, and again, they're hotkeys for home and settings. Your charger, wireless charger, your armrest there in green and white stitching, USB 2.0, USB-C, and aux down there with the key fob. And then we got to talk about this. So with this beautiful Italian flag and the 3D carbon fiber trim that we've been talking about sitting here, well, we have the DNA drive mode selector. This is the heart of the vehicle. So this is going to be where you choose what kind of fun you want to have in your car. You want to be pretty chill, fuel consumption and everything, you go advanced efficiency mode. You want to do daily driving in and out of traffic, over to Starbucks or Chick-fil-A, you do natural mode. You want to step on it a little bit and get it, get your heart pumping, have some fun. You go into dynamic mode. The dampers turn on there. You can soften those by pressing them in or turning them off, active dampers there. And the exhaust opens up. The exhaust valves say, hey, it's time to play. Okay. And then when you really want to get busy, you go into race mode. Now you have to hold it over to activate it for 3 seconds for obvious reasons, because you don't want to accidentally go into race mode, because it turns off your driver assistance and your traction control, all that stuff. Because this is your most hardcore mode. This is the one you really want to just go all out, and it's meant for the track. So I'm not going to say turn this on in the street and whatever else. It's meant for the track. There's your disclaimer. Now we have different animations when it comes to these modes, so I'll show you guys on the screen, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like on a digital speedo. So advanced efficiency, green. Natural, used to be blue, I think it's blue, but it might be a neutral color there. Dynamic, red. And then race mode, you got the track there, and that's yellow. Now I'll do the same thing but show you what it looks like on the screen. So on the screen, advanced efficiency, normal, right? Natural, changes things up a bit. Dynamic, then we're getting really crazy. And then you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. That is your new screen for race mode. And you guys can see that the big tack with the RPMs is right in the center, because that's what you want to focus on, right? The Quadrifoglio badge shows up in digital format, which is really cool. Obviously, you have your G mode here, or G mode, your G meter here to show your G's, and then you have your radio controls there. But we can actually customize that by pressing this, and you guys can see. If I press that and I go up and down, hold on, let me go back over there. And I go up and down on the scroller. There we go. So I can control what's over there as well. And then if I want to press this again, I can go over here on this side and control the G meter or the store messages there. So again, you can customize this. It's all configurable. But yeah, that is our new race mode setup, and I just love it. Going past that though, leather on the dash, stitching, the 3D carbon fiber centerpiece right over the glove box. This is all great and dandy when it comes to this interior. And again, these racing seats are just so cool. I love them so much. This is just the most beautiful place to be, guys. Come on, look at this. Look at this. Now, normally the back seat is a pretty chill place to be. It's always a good place to be if you got great Italian cars, but this one takes it to the next level, because you guys see what is poking out right here in front of me. I can't even talk about the door paneling of the seats for the actual back seat, because of the fact that that right there is, that's what we're focusing on today. The carbon fiber Sparko backing looks so incredible. How awesome is that seat? So being in the back seat, you get to experience that from that side, to where the driver doesn't. But you also have the leather uppers on the doors, stitching as well, and the 3D carbon fiber carrying over from the front to the rear as well, tying it all together with the aluminum and the Harman Kardon sound system. Now, when you look inside of the actual seats, you'll see that we have Alcantara and green and white stitching going throughout. And it gives you that same kind of bucket seat kind of feel when it comes to the Giulia Quad. And then inside, turbine vents, USB 2.0 plug-in as well. And then can't forget the cup holders in the middle with the armrest. Always a good place to be, but even better with the Sparko racing seats. So it'd obviously be a crime to not show the new tri-LEDs all illuminated. So we'll take a step back. As you can see, they're switchbacks, as in the same lights act as the turn signals or turn indicators with the running lights. All right, so the DRLs are the same thing as the turn indicators, going from amber to bright white. Looks really good with that full LED tail lamp, or tail lamp, headlamp. And the inside, I'm getting ahead of myself. And the black housing looks really good with that black eyebrow going over the top and the Alfa Romeo script to help add it all together. Now, we do also have in the black mirror cap, the turn signal there. And amber might be harder to see because of Florida sun does its thing. And then when it comes to the tails, I told you guys new tails are here. Done in a clear format with the fog lamp illuminated as well. So I have that on. And you guys can see what the new tails look like. The new tails, but old tails, because you know we've used to seeing these in the past. But looking at it against the Rosso Etna, all illuminated, again, it's just a beautiful setup. Now, when it comes to the 2024 Giulia Quadrifoglio, we have around $7,400 of options on this specific model. So with a base price of $81,370, after those additional options, you're looking at a total price of $90,415 after that $1,595 destination. And then you also have your basic warranty of 4 years, $50,000 with the powertrain, 4 years, $50,000 and roadside assistance. So what are the options? Well, we kind of went over them today, right? The Rosso Etna paint color is $1,750. The Sparkle racing seats in Alcantara, $3,500. And then you have the Quadrifoglio rear-wheel drive package, which gives you your Active Assist Plus as the driver assistance packages all listed there as well. Then you have the 19-inch dark technical wheels, $750, with the gloss red calipers with white script, $750. So that listed there is everything you see in the options on this specific quad today. And then standard features, obviously we gotta show those off because this is everything you're gonna get with the QV at its starting price at $81,000. And obviously the QV gives you the best that Alfa Romeo has to offer when it comes to styling, driving dynamics, and everything in the materials and insides. So you guys can see, that's everything. You guys need to pause it, zoom in. I want to go through twice for you guys, just so you guys can see how special this car is and why it's so special with everything that it comes with. So at $90,000, worth every penny, right? The Quadrifoglio for 2024 does the correct style changes that we need, but really it's the same car that we're used to for these last years because we don't want it to change. There's nothing else that needs to change about this because it's chef's kiss. It's always been a perfection. It's always been a masterpiece. Always been one of those cars very sought after and respected in the car community. And nothing has changed for this update. If anything, it just puts a little polish on top of that cherry. So with that said, what do you guys think? Drop those comments down below. Now, if you guys want to help further support the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Check the links in the description if you guys want to check out Maserati Alfa Romeo St. Pete's inventory and get this car. It's for sale. Make sure you guys check them out. Let them know that I sent you. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, but click the notification bell so you don't miss one video. And we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.